everyone, and welcome to our another session where we talk about some Ayurvedic principle for our well-being and how they can impact us. Today I'm going to share about exercise. As we all know, every one of us in one way or the other try to do exercise, if not daily, maybe twice a week, 3 times a week. And we all know exercise is very essential for us to keep ourselves active, fit. But what Ayurveda talk about, that each individual need to first of all look at whatever exercise they are doing. Is it compatible to them? Is it at a right time? And is it giving him or her that total wellness, what for we are trying to do the exercise or not? And this is something we are going to talk today. Now, as far as today's exercise part we look at, our current state of exercise is synonymous to joining a gym and then start doing various kind of exercises. And our objective in that format of exercise is again different. Some are coming up there for cardio and want to be on the treadmill, different levels of the speed, different gradation. Some are there to make their bodies, because for them the concept of exercise is to build their 6 abs or trying to keep themselves more and more fit. And then we all have seen that since this concept of gym has come up, our timing of exercise is again different. Anytime we feel like I have a half an hour, I have 40 minutes, I have 1 hour, I just get up from my laptop and go to gym and start exercising. But then if we sit back and ask ourselves that does this exercise has given me that wellness which I am looking for? If answer is yes, then one can look at the parameter of wellness. I should be free from stress. I should be free from any kind of blood pressure issue. My sleep should not have any problem. My breathing should not have any problem. My cholesterol should not be going up and down. My joints should not be aching. My muscles should not be feeling stiff and tight. I should not have any hamstring problem so often. I should not have constipation, gut problem, or IBS issues, or further more serious indigestion issues. Now one will wonder, how come exercise has to do with these issues? And that is where we need to understand that what Ayurveda talk about, that exercise is an integral part of our life. In Ayurveda, we have talked about 3 pillars of well-being, and out of them Vyama. Vyama means exercise. Ahar, Vichar and Vyam are 3 pillars of our well-being. But at the same time, our ancient sages has very clearly defined that what time of exercise one should be doing. And that time is the most crucial part. Reason is another principle what Ayurveda talk about, that we are microcosm of this big macrocosm. So whatever happening outside in the environment also impact us. And that's where the time factors play a huge role, because this whole 24-hour cycle is again dominated by different elements, and the same 24-hour time in our body is also governed by 3 bodily intelligence which are governing every function in my body. And in that regard, exercise is also one of the activity which we want to do, is governed by those doshas. But before I go that what is the ideal aspect of our exercise and which we should be always looking for, we need to look at our format of exercise, what we do, right? As I already shared, even if I'm getting into gym and trying to run on treadmill, look at what actually happening on the treadmill for you. You are running there, either walking, whatever level, but mostly you will get into a rhythm, and then fast walking or running will start becoming a part. Now that surface of treadmill, no matter what quality of your treadmill might be, still have that hardness there. And then you have wonderful shoes, right? Which different brands of the shoes you will be wearing. Your tracksuits are again very flash. Everything you have, and then you have a water bottle with you too, which you will keep running and trying to drink. So look what it does to you. I'm not going to come on the time yet. First of all, I'm just going to give you that aspect. When I'm running on that hard surface, on the treadmill part, what exactly happening to my knees and then the rest of the body? That jerk when you are running, what it is doing to your joint. Joint are like a shock absorber. And when you constantly giving that jerk, because the joint is made of your muscles, ligament, and then the synovial fluid is there, which is helping us to protect the friction between the joint. And when it is constantly having that jerk, without you knowing, the wear and tear start happening there. And then after some time, 2 months time or so, you start wondering why my knees start now aching. What has actually happened there? Why I'm feeling quite stiffness? Why I'm feeling tightness in my ligaments? And then on top of that, if you look at those who are running or trying to do some other activities in gym, they constantly keep drinking. Now when we are constantly drinking, what that means is, so when you are running or active, that water will go to those extremities where more activity is happening, but that water has gone without getting metabolized, which can then become the core cause of the problem down the track. Because again, anything which is not get metabolized is not compatible to your bodily tissues and the cell. Whether we talk about interstitial fluid or extracellular fluid, those all will be not compatible with that sort of situation. So what that does, that bring you one step closer to the various problem. And now if we look at, in many gyms there are various kind of other activities are also there, and many of us try to avail that because of my membership. So I have done exercise. After 5 minutes I am putting myself into saunas. Now saunas, what saunas are, you know better than me. In that your body is already heated due to all these activities. You go into the saunas. Saunas are again now bringing up much more heat, and that heat is where your head is also covered, and that heat is making you sweat, you feeling very good. But have you ever given a thought that what that heat has done to your heart, to your nervous system, to your eyes? We never even given a thought of that. And then we get out of that saunas and have a shower. All these activities, if we put together, they are wonderful ingredient of getting more serious problems, and one of them is our cardiac arrest, heart attacks. And I hope many of you who are well versed with all the news and in the surroundings what's happening, they always read news nowadays more and more that person who was perfectly fit suddenly got a cardiac arrest, heart attack. Person who was perfectly fit, even running on the treadmill, got a heart attack. Person who was perfectly fit got a stroke. Have we ever given a thought that why these things are happening now more and more, and how these relates with my well-being? Because again, if you evaluate whole this part, the timing of my exercise, some are going in the evening, even 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Some are going even midday because after lunch they have a half an hour break and they want to go on the exercise regime. But we don't understand that after meal doing exercise, how detrimental is for us, because the food is in your gut, require more agni or digestive fire to cook that food. But when you have now start your exercise, what will happen? That whole agni, which is in the form of your blood, will go to your extremities, because that's where the more energy is required. So energy is related with your agni part, metabolic force, metabolic intelligence. These are very simple things. There is no rocket science in them. These are common sense issues what Ayurveda has talked about from centuries. And that is the reason Ayurveda has given you, all of us, a very clear guideline that exercise is the most essential part of your well-being, but essential part is also only when I'm doing it in a correct way and at a correct time. So first of all, what is the correct time? Correct time is the morning part. Now there are certain aspects of the time which relate with the specific doshas, but not going too much into those at this stage. Even if, because I'm not going to tell you that what time you should get up and like that, whatever time you have waked up, even say for example, just take an average time of 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. So that is your time after your other daily routines, you should be getting into your exercise, because these times are dominated by what we call as vata intelligence, and the next phase start with a kapha intelligence, right? And but there is still a transition between 6 to 7 a.m. time, which is still more appropriate for us to do the exercise. And in that time, when you go for exercise, and exercise, what Ayurveda had advised, that you should be always going outside. Either you want to do walking, or you want to do brisk walking, or you want to do running. It is always more and more appropriate going out in the environment where you can feel, your whole body can feel relaxed. And when you are walking, brisk walking or running, what you are taking in is prana. Prana means oxygen. More oxygen coming to your body means more vitality coming up. And when you are walking or running, not on concrete, but in the grounds, what you are having, you not putting too much pressure on your joint also. So this way you get the best out of your exercise, same time frame, but the double the outcome. Then some of us who have not been able to do in the morning, for them Ayurveda has advised that you should be doing exercise in the evening part. Again, these evening phase of the time relate with the kapha and the vata part, and that junction before you have your meal, you can go for a walk or brisk walk or run according to your constitution, because there are different constitution which we dominate again by these three intelligence, will require different kind of exercises and the time frame also. But in that time frame you also able to do exercise and get much more benefit for you. Even if you want to do push-ups, if you want to do other kind of regime, you want to do the what you call them rope stepping or like that, you can still do all, but you do outside in the environment, in the your ground part, again where when you are doing all that, not jumping on the concrete and not jumping on the hard surface. These are the few things. Now coming back to your gym format of exercise, if you look at whatever, most of you must have watched yourself or people around. When we are in those gyms, we have what we call them, those headphones, listening to the different music, and then many of us will have something in our mouth, what we call as chewing gums, right? Mouth fresheners, because all of you are there and feeling the closeness of everyone, and everyone is sweating. So you all trying to keep yourself more focused, but that focus is actually what it is taking out of your body is that prana, and the impact on your senses and sense organ is also coming up in a more detrimental way. So outcome of your exercise is not what you are expecting or what you are thinking, and that's why all your ailment, whether it is the stress part, whether it is the sleep issue, whether it's your digestion issue, still prevailing. But when you go out and do the appropriate time of exercise, as I mentioned, morning and evening part, then what you are getting is more prana. Prana means it is helping you to keep your mind more relaxed. Mind more relaxed means you are in a position to go to bed and sleep much more easily. When you are out and in the surroundings, you'll enjoy nature. You can process what is going throughout the day. You're in a bit better position or more better position to tune with yourself. And that tuning help you to solve so many of your problems. And when you're having a good prana, prana is one of the prime dosha or the intelligence which is governing our body according to Ayurvedic principle, that will regulate not only your breathing but also all your secretions which are required in your gut to digest your food. And when the food is getting digested properly, when you will have your meal later on, that food will provide you more and more nourishment rather than more toxins or free radical substances which get built. And then when you are having in a good state of Agni, your bowel motions will be much better. And bowel motion is nothing but a waste eliminated from our body on a regular basis. So just having exercises at a right time and appropriate exercise can reward you with much of that well-being, what you are seeking from this exercise, rather than loading with you various kind of health issues on the name of exercise. So that's where Ayurveda always talk about that. Pick up the appropriate regime, what you should do. I just would like to share with you that this what I just shared about the our exercise part. This is all from this book which I have just written and is out in the market now, and it has all the daily regimes which we can follow in our day-to-day life, and also various kind of regimes for various ailment. Not only that what regime you should be doing on a daily basis, but even if you have any ailment, apart from whatever the medicine you might be taking, what kind of regime will be suitable for me to incorporate for that particular ailment, so the outcome can be much better. By following these daily regime, what you are doing is you are achieving two benefits. One is you are eliminating that built up of the toxins or ama which is getting built up in our body on a daily basis, so that it does not strengthen already existing of my ailment. And then by doing these regimes, you are stopping further inflow of that ama which can cause more and more problem for you. So this is the whole benefit what you can achieve, and this book is available online from our Australian store of the Surya Ayurveda, and at Planet also through the Ayurveda website. So that's what I would like to share today, and hope some of us can pick up the thread from here and try to evaluate your exercise plan and see how it can benefit. You just don't need to trust me. Give yourself 3 months and change your format of doing exercise and see the outcome. If you feel that the first outcome which I was doing through my various other forms was giving me benefit, and if you can get that real answer from your deep down conscious, not to just think of your brain, then you can choose that part. But I can assure you, if you are connected to your conscious and will do this format of exercise what Ayurveda share with you, you will never be able to feel regret that I have chosen traditional way of doing the exercise rather than just jumping and around fighting with the machines. I never will say that gyms are bad part, but you need to strike that balance, and balance is the key. If you feel certain exercises I want to do only in gym and only available there because you have certain key objective, but don't discard totally your exercise at a right time and in the right format. That will give you much more balance. Thanks everyone.